Well, she first shot to fame as the King's wife, but after her marriage to Elvis, Priscilla Presley has established a successful and incredibly diverse career as an accomplished actor, writer and businesswoman.
And that's not all. Her latest project, a new range of linens she's put together with one of Australia's top designers, Bruno Schiavi. It's a great pleasure to say good morning to you both.
Thank you.
Thank you. It's a pleasure being here.
I can't believe how busy you are, how many strings you have to your bow. I just want to run through some of the things, some of the projects in your life. Your acting career, what's happening there?
Well, acting right now, I've kind of put that in the back burner because I don't have time to do it. I'm producing. I'm producing the remake. I'm remaking the film The Party with Peter Sellers.
Yeah.
So we just got our first script in, so it looks like we're going to be ready to go on that very soon.
And a stage play based on your life?
Yes, yes, I'm doing that also. We're right in the midst of writing it, and it looks really good. It's my version. It's from the point of view of the woman, the ups and downs and all the trials and tribulations that I went through as a young girl, being thrown into, you know, in the midst of Elvis and in his life, and it'll be very uplifting.
Because how did you cope with that? I mean, you're a very private person. How did you cope with those ups and downs?
Well, you have to see the play.
Give us a bit of a sneak peek now.
Well, I think, I was very young. It's all certainly learning as you went along, but
you were a baby.
I was a child, absolutely, and I think it was a great experience. It was a wonderful lesson in life, and being around, especially that era, that time. It was the first of entourages. It was the first of Vegas, 1962, and a lot of experiences.
You were sailing uncharted waters then. One of your other things that you're involved with, you are, of course, the custodian of that legacy almost through the trust and Graceland and everything like that. That must take a lot of time and a lot of attention to get it right and keep it right.
Well, especially now because we have just we've partnered with CKX, and we're right on top of it, and we've got a great partner. He's listening, he's seeing our vision and what we want to do and where we want to grow, and it's a great partnership. We've looked for about 5 years for someone who would see that vision.
Because of course the King's as big business today as he ever was.
Well, it is big business, and who knew? I mean, many times you go back and you go, how did this happen? And I had, certainly in 1982 when we opened up Graceland, never did we know we'd still be here talking about it, and it's still growing as we speak. And right now we're just reaching to be able to keep his legacy going and going outside of Memphis.
Have you found it difficult to sort of forge your own identity with such a famous surname?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. I think that was the turmoil in the very beginning. Is how do I do both? How do I, have my own identity and not, keep being actually in the background, and not so much the background, but I had to find who I was, and it's been a long process, but it's coming along well.
So who are you? I mean,
who am I? Well, I think I know who I am very well. I know what I like, what I don't like. I think that I work off of a lot of common sense. I don't react, I try not to be, to react on emotional instincts. So I think, but it's been a long while to get here. So, but it feels good.
You're also on the board of MGM. You're on the speaking circuit, the lecture circuit in the States. You're the ambassador for the Dream Foundation, which helps a lot of people deal with their stuff.
Well, I'm not on the board of MGM anymore because MGM was sold to Sony, so that's good. But I'm on the board of CKX, so that's just.
You're a very busy lady, I think we've established that. And it would be remiss of us. I promise we're going to talk about the linen in just a sec, but it would be very remiss of us if we didn't congratulate you on Lisa Marie's wedding.
Thank you.
Last week. How was that?
Yeah, she pulled it off. Well, I think she had her dream. She wanted to see how long she can get away with it, and it was great because she got away with it for a month. And I
got away with what?
Getting married.
Oh, it was a month ago?
It was a month ago, yes. So this is all new. So it was just released. So she's very happy about that.
And did you walk her down the aisle?
I did. I walked her down the aisle. It was very small, very beautiful, very traditional. And she loves Japan, so I think that was the place where she wanted to be.
Japan a month ago, and you kept it a secret.
We kept it a secret. Yes, I had so many people calling me going, I can't believe it, you're a weirdo. Why? Because you tell me about all these other things that were going on in Japan, and I never said that she got married, but there's no way. I couldn't give that up.
You must be well practiced at keeping secrets.
Yes, yes. Well, I think especially it's more difficult today, but it's not even as much about keeping secrets is that today everything is so out there that it's not much you have for yourself. And there are just some things that, are private that doesn't need to be shared right away.
That must be difficult, though, to keep some of yourself private.
True, and it's getting harder and harder, but you have to maintain that.
Anything you want to share with us this morning before we move on?
I want to share Bruno.
Well, nice segue. How did you two get together?
Oh
We
my
actually met in LA through a mutual friend last May, actually, and it was meant to be a 15-minute meeting, and after 2.5 hours talking and then going back to LA and spending an intense 3 months together learning about each other.
I had wanted to get involved with bedding for a long time, especially organic. And it was my dream because I've been actually decorating for a while also. And you can put that on the resume too.
Yeah, I'm just throwing that into you. Explain organic bedding to me.
Well, organic, it's very natural fibers, and in my search, I wanted to. My son, was having a little bit of an allergy problem, and I had to go to organic. But organic was so earthy. No one ever really looked at it as being luxurious and lush. And I had talked to this personal friend of ours and my business manager about I have to get into the linen business. I want to design and I want to have fun with it. I want to do organic, and I guess that kind of stuck because that was a mutual friend had met Bruno, and he wanted to do the same thing.
So you both had the same idea. It wasn't like you had a brand looking for a name.
No, I was actually friends with one of Priscilla's business managers, and he said, I think you guys will get along really well.
Yeah.
And then we started talking, and then we didn't stop talking, and we still haven't stopped talking.
Bruno, did you ever think that you would be helping Priscilla Presley design
An American icon.
Yes.
No, absolutely not. And look, I think Priscilla and I are so similar in so many ways, and I think for us it was more about the passion and the process and what we wanted to create. And we didn't just want to create a product, we wanted to create something that was new. That's why when Priscilla said organic, I said that's perfect, because we want to educate people as well. So we have an organics, but we also have a bamboo range as well as the Egyptian cotton. So it was just also the packaging that we wanted to make it special. So we really wanted to create something that was totally out of norm.
And you have, just finally, Priscilla, you look extraordinary, you look terrific. Can you believe you're a grandmother?
No, I can't. I cannot. It's kind of hard for me when I see this, especially my granddaughters will be 17 in May, and she's doing quite well on her own with Dior.
Was she starring on the catwalk and in those campaigns?
Yes, and believe me, it brings tears to my eyes because she is such a sweet girl also. Not affected at all, takes it as a job, and isn't full of herself in any way, so that's quite pleasing.
Priscilla, we have the dates on the screen where you're going to be seeing people and signing autographs and showing off the fabrics and the sheets and the linen there.
I believe I'm going to Myers.
You are indeed. You're going there tomorrow in Sydney. You're going to Melbourne store on Wednesday and in Brizzy on Friday. Enjoy your stay here.
I hope people come to see me. It would be great. I'd love to be able to stop and chat.
It's a long way to come if no one turns up. I'm sure you'll have a
great show planned.
Plenty of people will be there.
You'll have a
It's
huge
been
crowd
wonderful
there.
meeting you, Priscilla.